Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, December 15th. We're looking at the last 2 days of the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And guess what we did all day today? We just spent all day taking back yesterday, for the most part, except M period. We let M period do its thing. So whoever was short from last night, we opened up in the middle of the day's range, just above half back. They tried once again to force it down, one time frame down. It was with nice fades, which I was telling the room. You were getting two-sided trade where you could long the bottoms, short the tops, until finally change took place when G took at A and boom, exploded. Look at the way they got acceleration in G and H and then stop on a dime and trade sideways for 3 hours. It really is amazing how these algorithms get set. Let's go to the other ones. Russell, new all-time high. New all-time high and another all-time high in the after hours already. As they go out with a trend day, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of single prints. 4 sets of single prints, all-time high. Triple Qs finally fill this single print and close accepted, hopefully, into the upper distribution for the 9th. Now, they got a little push down mid-morning when, again, another little headline about big tech has to be broken up. And boom, they shoot down. We have 2 sets of single prints. Well, I didn't see anybody retract that headline. So if news matters so much, if news matters that much, why did we take back the trend day from the downside and actually rip to an all-time, not all-time high, but a new high on the day? Because it means nothing. Those algos that are programmed to these tweets, headlines, whatever, all they do is distort the market. The market makes the news, not the other way around, ladies and gentlemen. As far as us, I had a good day, and I did very, very little after E period. Because I'm not surprised that the shorts gave it up here, but I did not expect us to go full board trend like this. So I watched a lot of that. But as far as my trades, I traded Wednesday's expirations because of the dividend that's coming on Friday and the quad witch that they were going to put a lot more premium into the puts. So I traded tomorrow's expiration. I took one long on the day. That actually happened in C period. When we came down, I'm like, yeah, we're one-time framing down, but that's not really acceptance yet into M's range. And as long as we don't have singles, I'm going to fade it. And I did that. And then again, I shorted it in C because we were one-time framing down, as long as we didn't take out B's high. So I did the 365 calls, which worked nicely. Then I did the 369 puts that worked nicely. And then I shorted again in D when we went back up. The 369 puts again as it came back in. So those trades worked nicely early on. And then in E period, I took a short one time against the opening. I'm like, if we hold the opening, fine. It's when it popped really quick, took the short, came in, that was it. Now, things dramatically changed. Obviously, once E took out D's high, we stopped the one-time framing down. But to be honest, look, I'm not surprised we went out and took out the day's high, because remember, we took out the overnight high. So even though we took out the initial balance low, we took out only the overnight high. So the fact once we got above the opening, I'm not surprised we got the high and took out both sides of the IB. But I am a little surprised at how much G and H took. Now, the good thing is I didn't short it. Now, again, I know myself, this kind of grind up, and I'm not sure exactly now. The algos early in the day were pretty accommodating and very readable. Once this starts happening, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I missed a long, but at least I'm not shorting it. I'm not sure what they want to do, so I stayed out of it. I did try 2 more shorts, small and I scratched. L, I made some on it, but I took it off because L actually 2 tick K's high. So when it came back in, I made a little. I'm like, that's it. We did get somewhat of a flush in M, but we held the trend day in both H and G. Poor high today, poor high yesterday. And we had an inside day. value ended up overlapping to high. So those are tremendous targets for tomorrow. Now, does that mean because we have a poor high today and a poor high yesterday, we are automatically going to take those out and come out of an inside day to the upside? Of course not. Of course not. Tell you what, everybody's looking for that. No doubt about that, because this market right now is long. So if we're long from all afternoon, and again now as we start the overnight and end period, and as we go further, if these longs don't alleviate some pressure, well, they better hope then that tomorrow morning we do take these out and come out of an inside day to the upside and make a new high. All-time high, actually. Remember, we are still almost at the top of an 11-day balance now. So keep that in mind. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to go higher. Now, we do have the Fed tomorrow. That doesn't take place till 2, and more importantly, the press conference at 2:30. So upside destinations for tomorrow. 369.59, that's today's high, and it's a poor high. 369.80, that's yesterday's high. It's a poor high. And then we just have the other two, 371.05, weekly high, all-time high, and 371.41, overnight, all-time high from the 8th. For the downside, we have two sets of single prints. First one starts at M's low, 368.59, and gets filled at G's high, 54 cents. Second set starts at H's low, 368.36, and get filled at A's high at 367.77. Then we have today's low of 365.92, yesterday's low of 364.47, and 363.26 weekly low, and filling the gap at 363.12, a 14-point gap. Now, before we get to the charts real quickly, remember there will be no video tomorrow morning. I have an appointment. I do hope to be back for the opening. So, I'm going to give basically what, in case I don't make it back for the opening, what I'll be looking for. But let's do the charts first. So we're one time framing up in the monthly out of an inside month 2 months ago. The monthly's healthy. We want to stay above last month's high of 364.38. Weekly, one time framing up 6 weeks. We didn't get a lot of distance last week and certainly not this week from the previous high, but we are still one time framing up. Daily, this is the important one. Inside day, 11-day balance. It's a small balance. It's less than $8. So this spring is coiling one way or the other. It's either going to pop, I think, pretty good, or if we come out of it to the downside, get a decent flush. I don't know which way it's happening yet. I'd be lying to say if I did. So right now you have to play balance rules tomorrow and inside day rules depending on which way we come out of it. So if we come out of the inside day to the upside, obviously these two poor highs are going to be taken out. Your next destination is then the all-time high. It's only, $1 away or so. It's also the top of an 11-day balance. So you go with that trade if you come out to the upside and monitor for continuation. Continuation for me would mean taking out the all-time high and hopefully staying above it. If not, all you did was stretch it, and then you have to be careful if we come back inside yesterday's range, because then that would be lack of continuation. How enthusiastic are the algos going to be tomorrow to make an all-time high and get extension prior to the Fed? I don't know. Remains to be seen, if we even do it, but it remains to be seen. On the flip side, if we come out of the inside day to the downside, two things would have occurred. Number one, all those who are long today are flushing out. Number two, means you might have failed at the top of an 11-day balance again, which means your destination then would ultimately be the bottom of the balance, which is a weekly low. And that's going to put a lot more importance on that if we take it out, because it would stop the one-time framing up. Hope you had a great day trading. Have a great evening. Again, no video tomorrow morning. Hopefully I'll be here for the opening. Have a great evening, and we'll speak after the close tomorrow night.